What up, YouTube? This is Insane Monster doing part 2 of What If Asta Was Cain's Son. And this is Cain from the SCP Foundation, number 073. Now then, when we last left off, Asta got his grimoire along with Yuno, and Asta beat the ever-living hell out of the Chain Mage. As for what happened after that, the father of the church asked Asta to meet with him, which is where he opened an old box that he blew a bunch of dust off, saying that this was with you along with a letter that said to give it to you when you gained your grimoire. Also was confused, thinking, why am I just... Wait, what? Just... Why? Why did it have to wait until now? The father said, I don't know. I didn't, it wasn't my place to pry into whatever this book has. So, I didn't. In my opinion, this is for your eyes only, and for anyone that you believe that you think should look into it. So, he takes the book. Obviously, this is the book that Cain had somebody else write for him, since he couldn't touch paper or anything without it decaying into nothingness. So he began to read, and he found out about his dad, about his mom too. Though, from start to finish, from the start, it started Cain's parents, Adam and Eve, his fight with his brother, his curse, where he came from, how he got to this world, how he met his mother. Though that's about where the book ends, when he finishes writing up a little bit after the latest log about Asta being born, about the day Asta was being born. Though on that page there was an envelope. The second envelope. The first envelope was for the priest to look at and read. The second one is strictly for Asta. It explains that what happened to her parents, though it was a bit vague. It said that Asta and Yuno's parents were attacked, and when they were trying to get them away, both of their parents died. Well, they don't. They He doesn't know what to think about it. There's nothing in here about where they come from, or who their parents were, or even who did that to them. He decided to tell and he was like, he he asked yelling, "What? Wait a minute! That's what happened? They were trying to save us. We weren't abandoned." Otsta just said, "No, we weren't." Frustrating thing is they leave out a bunch of key details, like where we're actually from, also who attacked our families. Other than that, I got no clue. I have nothing. Was angry, saying, "Well, why not? Why didn't the letter say that?" He looked at thinking. He thinks for a minute and tells him it's probably because of that, because we'd probably be furious after learning. If I had to guess, they didn't want us going up against the people did who did kill our families. So they left out the parts about where we came from and who attacked us. We we can't really do anything about it. We don't. If we knew where we did come from, then we could figure some things out. But since we don't, we can't do that. And Even if we did, I'm not sure if people would be willing to talk to us. There's so many things that we don't know, so we should put what happened to our families in the past that ended up getting us here to begin with on on the side for now at least. We can learn more about it later, but I don't know, man. Calms down and says, "You're probably right. We don't know, but but I have to. But I'm afraid to imagine what kind of enemy that they fought that not only took their lives but ended up making it to where they made sure that there wouldn't be any way for us to know where we came from so that we wouldn't run into them. I mean, could someone really. I mean, how powerful would they have to be for them to go to those kind of lengths?" Asta replies with, "I'm not really sure I want to know, in all honesty." After that talk, uh, Asta went off to go train, where he met it up with his teacher. He learned about his father's abilities and the differences between his appearance and his abilities compared to his father. Okay, my dad's my dad's reflection ability from damage, I got that, but it seems like it evolved where I can extend it to other people, though it looks like it has some conditions on it. As for the plant killing thing, it's the complete opposite. Though I suppose, given what's written in here about his past, uh, I guess it is somewhat of a suitable punishment. Though why did though though when I inherited his abilities, why is the thing with the plants the exact opposite? I don't get that. And the hell is an anomalous ability? Okay, I mean, people thought I had some kind of curse on me. I mean, is an anomalous ability just a different way of referring to a curse or something? This is so frustrating. He, but other than that, his training goes pretty much the same. As for whatever happens still happens with training. I'm not sure what he would. I don't know what he trained for while Asta was gone, but I would say in this version he trained pretty a lot more intensely than what I would imagine normal would train, burning off a little steam after hearing what happened to their families, and even burning off even more steam, knowing that they know little to nothing about what actually happened to their family that ended up with them being dropped off at the church in Haas. So there's that. Which went, and then they meet back up, heading off for the grimoire ceremony. And if you remember the little montage thing, every step of the way, plants are just growing while Asta's walking by. When they get to the desert, the Asta just starts walking from grass to desert, but the plants are just extending, rerooting, and spawning more plants. Yuno's just looking at this and tells him, "Seriously, man, you are like the only person I could even come close to thinking of that could cause a grass pathway through going through the desert just by walking through it. Seriously, how is grass growing in the sand? Asta just looks at him, replying with, "Dude, I don't even know. And honestly, I don't think I really want to know." So they just keep walking till they get to the capital where the entrance exams are. People are looking at Asta kind of oddly. Guys are wondering, what's up with this guy? Though I don't. They at first glance they think though his blue and dark silver markings are tattoos, but when they look at it a bit more, they notice that it really isn't. The blue markings are slightly glowing, while the dark silver markings are shining like actual metal. So they're not sure what to think. The girls actually find Austin, to be good looking in this one. The same thing happens with the registering of the grimoires for the entrance exam, where the guy is a little confused on Asta's grimoire of why it looks the way it does, which he just says, "No clue. It just came to me like this." They get in, and this time around, Julius is there, though in this one, he's disguised himself as a type of guard or something, watching over the exams. He won't, he remembers the he remembers the report about a boy who has an odd reaction to plant life, as well as the ability to reflect damage caused by enemies back onto them. So obviously he'd come over there. In this one, he walks through the field, checking on some of them, pretending to make sure everything's okay. But while what he's really doing is getting close to Asta with a bag of sunflower seeds, eating a couple of them, making them just look like a casual guard, just mage guard, whatever. When he gets into a certain range of Asta, instantly some of the seeds sprout very fast and burst out of the bag, which causes Julius in his disguised form to throw the bag. He made sure to aim it a little bit closer to Asta, which caused them to just all of them just burst. It's like, oh, seriously, we're in a we're in we're in a stone coliseum for the exams. And of course, somebody has to bring sunflower seeds near Asta. And, and this is about the time where the magic birds are messing with people. But for Asta, they're just chilling on them and around them. They're just relaxed. Asta didn't really bother with animals that much, considering he was worried what would happen when he would think about what happens with him whenever he gets near plant life. So he's kind of glad that it just seems like animals become calm near him rather than doing something crazy. A noble walks up saying, "What exactly are you doing? Showing off your magic?" Also just replies with, "No, not really. That guard guy had sunflower seeds, and uh, weird things happen to plants when I'm around them, so a seed is enough for this to happen." Which the sunflowers are growing bigger and bigger. If you know what a sunflower seeds are like, that big ass petals, that big ass face thing of the sunflower with the petals all around it, has a whole bunch of seeds in it. The noble just thinks, if that's the case, and he just cuts the sunflowers off, which was probably the biggest mistake he could ever imagine. because the moment those things hit the ground, the seeds inside, all those seeds inside the overgrown sunflowers burst out, making even more. Then that's where the chaos starts coming in, panicking a little bit, and a bunch of the nobles and everybody just start whacking the flowers, making it even worse until the entire arena and everybody is completely surrounded with flowers, with the sunflowers over their heads. Uh, from the commotion, the captains came out quickly, and they just see ridiculously overgrown sunflowers just keep growing. As for Yami, with Finroll and Gordon, they walk through the door on the end near the testing ground, and they just see the chaos. Yami just goes, "Nope, this ain't the way. I'm not dealing with that." So Asta doesn't get to meet Yami that the same way as that. As for the other captains, uh, Charlotte, the Blue Rose captain, tried to use her briar magic to grab the examinees out of that mess. Though when it got close, it ended up growing and growing bigger and bigger, gaining a lot more power. It surprised her and it got a little out of control. She knew that it wasn't from her curse, and a thought came into her mind: Is this from? Is somebody else has some kind of curse that does this to plants? Instantly, Vigolion uses his fire to burn away all the plants, including Captain Charlotte's Briar magic, to end it all without burning anybody else, which I would think isn't very hard for him, considering he can capture people with flame lion paws without burning them. So I'd say he has a good control over his fire on what it burns and what it doesn't burn. As for an explanation, uh, one of the nobles just shouted out that one of the guards dropped sunflower seeds near Asta, and then it just started sprouting, which they just see a bunch of anti-magic birds just chilling on, which normally they would fly away when the captains come near, but they're just like, nah, don't care. So there's that. Though Yami went over to him to take a close look at him, which did end up causing them to flock away. He was saying, "You caused this? Why, trying to make trouble on your first day?" Asa just replied with, "No, that's not it. Uh, that's just what happens when I get near plants." Yami's like, "Huh? Are you trying to mess with me?" Which steps in saying, "It's true. This happened whenever Asta gets near plants. They just start growing rapidly and wildly to uh, very large proportions, and very large and unusual proportions." As after that, he sighs, saying, "Fine then. As long as it doesn't happen again, it should be fine." Julius is thinking in his little disguise, thinking, "That was insane. Never knew something like that was possible. This kid could be pretty interesting." Uh, though the captains say that they're going to be a bit of a hold off on the exam a little bit longer to clean up all the scorched plant. And so they had to deal with that first. While they were waiting, a girl with long brown hair walked up to Asta. She says, "Hello, been a while." Asta looked over and sees her, and he responded with, "Oh, hey, Mimosa." Mimosa is surprised and says, "You remember me after all this time?" He just says, "Well, having a photographic memory comes in handy." Mimosa replied with, "Huh, is that so? Well, I couldn't really forget you considering your distinguished features. Not every day you see somebody with metallic skin markings as well as glowing blue markings. I never did get to ask what those are." Asta was kind of scrambling, thinking in his mind, and he just comes up with this. "These are actually something I found out recently I inherited from my dad. If I had to tell you, they're they're more or less the things that caused the reaction to plants and plant magic. It seems, at least that's what it looked like whenever that captain with the plant with that briar with those briars tried to grab everybody." So she says, "Huh? So there is like some kind of inheritance you got?" He replies with, "Yeah, though apparently from the book that I just got that my dad had made, apparently the abilities changed a good bit when it got to me. Not sure how that happened or why, and he isn't around for me to ask him anyways, so not sure what to do." As for everybody in when everything was cleaned up, they resumed the magic night exam. The haha guy still introduces himself to Asta, wondering why can't he sense this guy's magic when he just caused something so crazy without even by just being around plants. So he's curious, but he has the feeling that he probably doesn't want to mess with this guy, which I guess would be understandable. A little bit of fear of the unknown. And he describes the other captains and all that to Asta, and including the ones escorting Captain Yami, Finral, who is a spatial magic user, and Gordon, who's a poison magic user, whose family is well known for hex research, for researching hexes, curses, all that. Also thinks, is that right? Maybe, hmm, might would he know something? That the haha guy says, "No, what? Nothing. Just thinking out loud." The exams progress as normal, and uh, yeah, Bonjin still uses his tree magic to get everybody's broom, though he had a little trouble reeling it back, considering it was getting near Asta. When Asta grabbed his broom, it just started to keep growing, since was made with a type of plant, or I guess could consider it nature magic. It just kept making it grow, and he had to toss it aside. But as for a regular broom, they tried giving him a regular broom, but he said that he wasn't able to fly, which surprised them considering he's taken a magic night exam. Uh, Same thing happens with the creation thing, as well as the portion of the target practice. Asta can't really conjure something, though they consider what he did with the plants as something abnormal, but they didn't consider the conjuring thing. since he used actual plant life to cause it. And which is where they got to the combat stage. A smug noble challenged Asta instead of Aha, thinking he made such a fuss before the exam even began, and still he couldn't complete any of the challenges. He mocks Asta, saying that he's weak. Asta just said, "Well, I would offer you a free shot, but honestly, I I'm not sure. It might cause you more trouble than what it's worth, considering." He gets pissed, saying, "What did you say?" This noble happens to be a user of lightning, another lightning magic user. So Asta and both deal with a lightning magic user. Though this one prefers small projectiles with accuracy rather than a large, overgrown lightning ball. He, he shoots a couple of shots at Asta, hitting both of his shoulders and his legs. Asta stumbles a little bit, but straightens up without much problem. The noble is surprised by this for a second until he notices a sharp pain. It feels like his body's getting electrified, where he just tumbles to his knees as he sees his legs and his shoulders are bleeding, saying, "What happened? What did you do?" Asta replied with, "I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you that giving you a free shot would probably. I was. Eh, what? Make up your mind." Well, I'm trying to say it to where you don't try anything more foolish. Basically, any attack done to me that would cause any form of harm is the damage is reflected back onto the person who caused it. I still feel the pain though, so that kind of sucks. But I wanted you to just shoot one shot. I just worded it differently to push you to it. I didn't expect you to go for each of my limbs. It's a little bit of overkill. You know that, right? He just gets more mad, thinking and yelling, "You worthless peasant!" He fires another shot. This time it's a electric ball, not giant, but uh, about twice as big as the palm of the hand, which hits Asta in the stomach because he's just letting him do it. Which the shock still reflects and the damage still reflects back onto him. So he's writhing in pain, being electrocuted from his own magic. I already told you what happens when you attack me. Do you really not get it? So he thinks and does something else. Lightning creation magic, thunder armor, and he uses it to conjure a a lightning magic creation of knight armor. Thinking, fine then, it, come at me. You don't seem to have any magic to fight me, so all I have to do is outlast you. The moment you touch me, you'll be electrified so bad that you won't even be able to walk for months. In fact, you'll be lucky if you even survive, you filthy commoner. Asa just sighs, thinking, seriously? And pulls out his anti-magic sword, which, like in canon with the haha guy, he just blitzes him, slamming him into the ground, destroying his magic, and basically breaking the battlefield floor, which just surprises everybody. They're not understanding what's with this guy. And if he's this powerful, why didn't he do well in the other part of the exam? Obviously, he says, I have no issues with you, so this is as far as I'm gonna take this. But I'm not going to say I'm sorry either. And just walks away. Obviously, in his mind, he's thinking, this is only one step into becoming the Wizard King. But considering my inability to do anything in the other test, I might be kind of, man. And that's just his thoughts. Obviously, you know what he was going to say, which is he's probably not going to get a lot of hands, if any. So after that, we get back to the exam. Everybody does their fights, and now it's selection time. Obviously, still gets all the hands raised and goes with the Golden Dawn. As for Asta, he does get some hands, though they're more or less from people who are curious. As for the hands that were raised, it was Yami and Charlotte. Charlotte wanted to know something. Charlotte thought having him near would give her a good chance of trying to figure something out, considering they're she thinks he's cursed with some kind of plant-based curse. So she figures that maybe he could be a key in removing my curse. Though it's a long shot, but it's one I'm willing to take. And of course it's Yami. He looks and decides to go with the Black Bulls. When one of the captains stands up, which is obviously Vigolion, saying, "Are you sure? The Black Bulls are the lowest ranking squad. Are you sure you want to go with them? What exactly is your reasoning?" Asuda just looks at him saying, "I have my own reasons, though they're private. But either way, I feel that if I can turn the worst Magic Knight squad into one of the best, it might be a good start to becoming the Wizard King." Everybody's shocked, thinking, wait, is he serious? Become the Wizard King? Yami's laughing, saying, wait, they're going on saying, so that's your reasoning? I thought it was private. It is. That's just one of my reasons. Obviously, Yami stops laughing, being curious about what he means by that. But Mimosa still goes with the Golden Dawn, though after every thing, when everybody's selected, when Asta's about to leave, Mimosa shows up and says, "Well, seems like we both got into a Magic Knight squad." Asta replied with, "Yeah, seems like it. Congratulations on getting into the Golden Dawn. You deserve it." Mimosa replies with, "Thank you, and I hope you do well in the Black Bulls." Asta just smirks, saying, "Don't worry, I'll be just fine," and hops through the portal. Obviously, something similar happens whenever he meets the Black Bulls. It's madness, and he still goes through the baptism with Magna, though that it goes up. He's somewhat calmer. He's confident, calmer, but still pretty Asta-ish. And you know what I mean by that. If you don't, go watch the series and then you'll learn. So now we get to the fighting portion of it. He still dodges and all that and but he uses his sword as a reaction. He would think about letting his body just take it, but he knows that's not right. This guy's gonna be a squad member. He doesn't want to hurt him. So his body reacts the same as in Cain and ricochet and just sends it back right at uh sorry, need to give me a drink after this. But right at sends it right back to Magna. He still calls Asta manly and all that, saying that was incredible. And Asta still replies with that he has no magic, which just surprises everybody, including the members of the Black Bulls that saw him at the exams. And from up top on the Black Bulls hideout, you see a silver girl, which you know as Noelle, saying, "Hmm." So he, so the odd one, so the other odd, odd one from the exam is here. She's considering herself a little odd, considering she can't control her magic. But that's it. And things go same. Asta gets his room and cleans it up. He wakes up and gets the tour. The magic beast and all that. Though when they get to the magic beast and the cage that Yami keeps, they're really calm, with Magna replying with, "Jeez, what's going on with these guys? Never seen them like this. They're just chill. It's kind of unsettling." And they just leave without Asta telling them why they're acting like that, thinking, probably shouldn't tell them what happens when I'm around plants and animals yet. The animal thing isn't much of a problem, but the plants, that could be hard to explain. Though, doesn't seem like the guys who did see what happens when I'm around them told the others. So, whatever. They run into Noelle, which the same thing happened, similar into canon, but with a kind of calmer version of Asta. And Noelle still quits. Asta goes walking around, same as in Ganon, after doing some chores and stuff, and which is where he starts hearing some noise. He follows it, which through the woods, where he ends up causing the plants to grow again, which is what catches Noelle's eye what instead of the cracking stick. And the officer replies, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to." She still freaks out, thinking that she's gonna be ridiculed, and goes crazy. Asa gets flown back a bit, though he doesn't want to hurt Noelle, so he tries a little bit harder and unstably lands without getting hurt. Yami and the others are discussing about what to do with it, which is where Asta comes through the plants and stuff, saying, "Captain, what do we do?" And Yami just instantly grabs him, and then just says, "Well, it's not what we're gonna do, it's what you're gonna do." Also saying, wait, what? He says, "You're able to deal with that. You have anti-magic and are able to deal with this, right? You can get rid of it?" Sure, I think I can, yeah. Good. Now I'm gonna get you up there. Wait, up how? What? And just frickin' throws Asta. Oh, come on. He hurries up and does the same as in canon and catches Noelle. Though this time, Finral asks Charmy to make a cotton cushion for them when he uses his spatial magic to catch them, since he figured that doing this might cause the same reflection thing to go onto him if he lands roughly. Same happens with Noelle waiting to be mocked by the others, but Asta setting his hands, complimenting on her on how much magic she has when he has none, which surprises her, along with all the Black Bulls just accepting her. After that, Asta is doing chores and stuff, and in his free time, going through all the books in the library in the Black Bull's hideout, thinking, there's somebody in here from a hex or a curse researching magic family, then it's possible that they have some information on it. At least that's what I'm hoping. He's able to read through it pretty quick. Photographic memory does come in handy. So he ends up going through the whole library of the Black Bull hideout in about 2 days. And this is where I'm going to stop it for now. So, yeah. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell for when I upload new videos. And I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, and as for what I said in the previous video, since this is the second part of What If Asa Was a Son of Cain, the next What If will be the next part of the 100 subscriber special, where we will be having What If Deku was the son of SCP-076, aka Abel. So, hold up. Make sure you're paying attention for the uploads, and hope you enjoy both this What If and the upcoming Abel Deku What If. Have a good night.